Hello, everyone. If you want to know how to get more students to teach online, you're in the right place. Today, I'm going to talk about how and where to get students online. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hey everybody. So I'm Angie from teacheSLanywhere.com, and I'm a traveling teacher, I'm a minimalist teacher, and I'm an independent teacher. So on this channel, you learn about all of the above. So the question on everyone's minds is how to get more students to teach online. Yes, I know. All right. So let's see. As I said before, I think that there are really two parts to this. I think we have to look at where to find them. Yes. I don't know that the places that I have for you today and in the following series will be that novel. They are just a result of research. So, and I know that there are many more out there because my research it's one person limited. Yeah. So where we need to know where, but we also need to know how. We're not going to talk so much about the how on these lives, but the how includes things like who do you want to teach? So how do you present yourself? Niching down, teaching to a niche. Like I have said before, if you've seen one of my other videos where I talked about that silliness. So you need to define your niche. And then it's important to know how and feel good, feel comfortable about the courting process of navigating that whole thing with a new student to then convert them. I've got all these nifty little things that StreamYard provides me, and I'm just talking, and I haven't moved through these headings. So define your niche and know how to convert the leads, which is and important about attracting and converting the leads. So it's important to be very intentional about how you draft your profile bio and your video. So all of those pieces are really important about how. So if you want more information about that, I actually, this is something that I can coach you on. People have asked me many questions in email recently that I don't necessarily feel even equipped to help with. But this stuff I have a background in. If you'd like more help with this, just give me a shout. This is my email, teacheSLanywhere@gmail.com. All right, so now where do we find students? I just want to stop and say here really quickly that it is never my intention to drone on and have a live be really long. So I really plan to try to clip through this as quickly as possible. I would love it if any of you guys want to leave comments, or if you feel brave enough and know how to pop in and actually comment live on video with me, or ask a question that if I don't know how to answer it, maybe someone else in the audience will. So, and if you're watching this on the replay, hello. But anyone who's here live, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And oh my God, people are watching me live. It is very different when you can edit yourself. Anyhow, let's get back to this. So, I wanted to tell you about this clipped pace that I would like to have in my Facebook Lives, because I wanted to share another Facebook Live series that I'm starting. I'm saying Facebook Live. This is YouTube. Sorry, YouTube Live series. Anyhow, so the other series is going to be about curriculum. I know that people, including myself, if I had not niched down so very specifically and I was looking for other curriculum, I would also want to know a lot more than what I've seen about all the options that are out there. So I am going to be interviewing different content creators, so curriculum creators. And the first one's going to be on the 22nd. If you saw my last video where I talked about when this live was going to be, you may not trust me, but I promise, if I have a guest and it's my second one, it's the reason why I'm doing these first, so I can learn how to use this and be very prepared for my guests. So October 22nd. It's a Friday, and it will be at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. By the way, where are you? Speaking of where are you in the world? I would love it if you would tell me in the comments. Okay, so where do we find students? Location. I'm a dork, y'all. Okay, so how do we choose the location? The location is so important to me because I want to sleep in. I've been very, very spoiled to live in India and teach from here for many years. And to go back to those early morning hours, especially when the time has just changed, I'm not into it, y'all. So I have already started talking to my existing, well, for one, it's the reason why I've moved so slowly about taking new students. I've actually turned some away, and I'm turned some away that were willing to pay my price because I didn't really want to teach that level. And I am standing firm on my prices. So I know that the perfect students are coming to me, and that the perfect ones who are my market, who are interested in paying the rate and having the quality and the background that I have to offer, they'll be there. So I'm taking students on slowly also because I'm about to change time zones really dramatically. So I'm going back to the US in mid-November. So I really wanted to look at where the time zones I'm looking at are based on me getting to sleep in, and in general, being able to craft my experience of life. Being able to, freedom is my number one priority. So being able to craft exactly how I want to have my schedule is really important to me. The other thing that I want to pull up so I can share with you, that being able to craft exactly how I want to have my schedule is really important to me. The other thing that I want to pull up so I can share with you, that being able to craft exactly how I want to have my schedule is really important to me. The other thing, I see two people watching, and I wonder if you can hear me talking. It's like there's an echo or something. I see two people watching, and I wonder if you can hear me talking. How do I stop this? It's like there's an echo or something. All right, you guys, technical difficulties. 1 second. I don't understand. When I started to flash to get you the information, it started echoing back to me. I don't understand. When I started to flash to get you the information, it started echoing back to me. Can someone leave me a comment and let me know if you hear the echo? Oh, you can hear me twice. I see Jen. Oh, Jen, it's all better? Started echoing back to me. Can someone leave me a comment and let me know if you hear the echo? Oh, you can hear me twice. I see Jen. Oh, Jen, it's all better? Started echoing back to me. Can someone leave me a comment? Why? Oh, you can hear me twice. I see Jen. Oh, Jen, it's all better? Started echoing back to me. Can someone leave me a comment? Why? Oh, you can hear me twice. I see Jen. Oh, Jen, it's all better? Started echoing back to me. Can someone leave me a comment? I think if I end the broadcast, it's over, which would be a real bummer. I think if I end the broadcast, it's over. There are definitely, there's definitely more than one echo. This is fun. Okay, you guys, I think Jen, it's good now. So Jen, I'm going to watch the comments and I'm going to keep talking because what I have done is muted because I could not stand to hear myself 5,000 times. Don't touch anything. I shall not. Okay, I do have to touch something though. That's what happened to begin with. So let's see what happens when I try to go to this other screen again. So Jen, is the echo back as I'm trying to tell you about the places in the world who want to pay the most, who are willing, who are interested, who just do pay the most for ESL? Okay, let me just check back and see what's happening. Is there an echo? Let's see, Jen. Is there an echo? So it's great. Yay. Okay, very good. So money is important to me. I think that I've made that clear. And it's not about taking advantage of anyone, it's just about meeting the market where it's at. So, yes. So the places. Apparently, I can switch and tell you. I have simply found a listing of the places where, if you want to go to these countries and teach ESL, these are the countries that will pay you the most to do that. So I'm using this. To me, this says that if they're willing to pay this much to get me to come to their country and teach, that they highly value ESL. So the countries are the top 2 countries. First, guess what? Guess where China is? I'll just say this first. It's not at the top. So the top 2 highest paying countries are the UAE and Hong Kong. Now, going down the list from there, not really in an order, but about the same: Japan, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Oman, South Korea, which I know a lot of people think South Korea is high on the list, but it is not. And I can see the incomes, and it's not just out of order. The income is lower. Taiwan, China. China has got less. It's a little bit less and slightly on par at the high end with South Korea. So, yeah, I am interested in the UAE and specifically the UAE and Saudi Arabia for the hours. And I was actually speaking with someone who was starting a school in Saudi Arabia, and it didn't go any further. But again, it was just validation for me at the time that they are interested in paying. I mean, I quoted them the rates that I believe that that people with a lot of experience deserve, and there wasn't a question about that. So it was more validation for me at the time that it's a good market. All right, Jen, I'm about to touch something. And hello to the other 2 of you. I know Claire was watching. Who else is out there? And where are you watching from? I don't know if you heard me ask that before. All right. So the first thing that I did was start searching for, I was thinking like a consumer would think. So I started thinking about how they might search for a teacher in their area. So there are probably other ways that are good as well, but I found results from this one. How do I find a teacher, an ESL teacher or an English teacher? I try, all different kinds of variations of that for my child, and then the age group, because you can be that specific and get results, but just in general for my child in whatever country. And so that's how I started to find a couple of these places to share your teaching business, your tutoring business. So they are simply websites where you can post your profile and attract students. Every one of them has a different business model. And in fact, I'm going to share the 2 that I found in my research before I started searching for how can I find an ESL teacher for my child in the UAE or in Dubai more specifically. So before I do that, I'm just going to see who's commenting. Hi, Claire from the UK. And Jen is from Canada. I am in India. Where are the 3rd and the 4th person from? Tell me. All right. And also, if you're listening in the playback, I'd love to hear that as well. All right, so the first one that I found, so I have a list of some others, and in the next couple of parts to the series, I'll just share a couple each time, as well as not just different kinds of websites, but different kinds of approaches that I learned about in my research about how we can get more students, or find more students, really. These are more about where. That's not true. That's not true, because there are some knowledge sharing websites which would really be more so of a how. All right, so the first one I'm going to tell you about is Buddy School. Now, let's see if I can accomplish a screen share and show you just briefly what their website looks like here. Yes. And here you go. Well, it's at least there. Yeah, so it's at least there. Let's go back to their main page. So this is Buddy School. This one is one of my favorite kinds of websites because it's you post a profile and you can. Some of you may not like this, but I like it because I appreciate the service and I see the value. As long as I'm getting students, I see the value in paying. I like this kind of website because their business model is very simple. You can post a profile and it's not going to get as much traction because there are so many teachers. And then if you are willing to pay an upgrade, then you can get more visible slots on their website. And this website has got great reviews. So great reviews from students and from teachers. So they're not going to take any money from you. You're just going to pay. You're going to pay for a membership, but they're not going to take a percentage of every student or every class. And as you can see, there are lots of different things that you can teach here. And so when I say that I'm happy to pay, they're spending money to attract students to their website. So if they're going to do that marketing for me and attract students to me, it's going to be a place where I can benefit from those students they've attracted. I'm down. And I'm not trying to get 1,000 students. I'm not trying to get very many students at all. That was my intention when I realized I could triple my income, was work less. So I'm expecting that when I decide that I'm going to fill up the time zone when I get home, that this will be not this or whichever ones I choose to do will not be something I have to pay for month after month after month. That combined with word of mouth and referrals, I expect that that I won't have to pay for it for long. Okay, so I'm also realizing that while I have screen shared this, I hope I have screen shared it with you. Have I done that? There are many comments. Oh no! You can hear the echo. Hi, Joe from South Carolina. And it doesn't look like I screen shared. Wow. Well, this will be better next time, I promise. Oh, no echo now. Okay, thanks, Claire, for the update. All right, so can someone update me? Did I screen share, or were you not able to see that? I don't think I did. Here it is. This is Buddy School. All right, and the next one is Chegg Tutors. If you see, I have said this is not for me. I first of all, I saw. Well, I'll say before I say that, I'll say that if you have worked with Chegg Tutors and you've had a positive experience, I would love to hear it. But in my research, and I was looking again today at reviews for these, Chegg has terrible reviews as of like yesterday, and then later this week or earlier this week, a couple of them on Trustpilot or Trusted Pilot, whatever that website is. So, but the other thing that I found is that it's not a place where you can set your own prices. It seems like it's more of a company that you can work for. So the whole reason I left it in here is that I know that there are some people who are, while they're building their independent business, might actually be interested in a company that would just pay them to teach. So Chegg Tutors, you can check that out, but it's not for me. The next one is care.com, and I am actually going to try to screen share this one. So care.com is going to have things like, nope, I don't want to be distracted. I'm just gonna have to get better at that. So it's got babysitting and nannies, like more long-term babysitting, other care type services, and tutoring and coaching is one of those. So I have heard good reviews from tutors specifically. I have read of folks using it and being happy with the results. This one, important to note, this one's only in the US, it looks like. Those are the only zip codes that I could get it to accept. All right, Tutoroo. If you recall, I told you that there's comments coming in. I just want to double check. Okay, good. Nobody's telling me anything crazy. All right, well, I'll get back to questions in a minute, you guys. All right, so tutoroo.com is one that I have found that it has an interesting business model, but essentially you still get to put a nice looking profile, and there are definitely people on this website. There are other websites that I found. I remember back when I was searching this originally that I looked and looked through their pages of tutors, and they were not charging enough that I knew that I would be able to charge my rate on that site. It was all very much lower prices. So Tutoroo is one where I saw people charging a rate that I find acceptable, and but their business model is interesting. The student has a right to book like 2 to 6 sessions or lessons in like a 2-week period, I think it is. And then if they decide to sign up with you, you get paid a smaller, no, I don't think you get paid at all for those lessons. It's very strange, but then you never pay anything to Tutoroo again. If the student decides or does not sign up with you, then they pay you a percentage, like half or something. It is at least half. I think it is half. They'll just pay you half of what the student paid for those lessons. And then again, you're cutting your losses. They didn't sign up with you or with the company. So that's Tutoroo. Interesting, right? And again, so actually going back to Tutoroo and Tutoroo is the first one that I found in recent months searching how do I find an English teacher for my child I looked for like Prague. Is not on that list, but was in another search that I had found a while back. Like in my notes, it was circled really big and prominent with dollar signs or something. So anyhow, it turns out that Tutoroo is there as well as Canada, because I was thinking at the time, I know that there are many Chinese immigrants in Canada. So I was thinking it would be a way, if I was looking for Canada, I could attract Chinese students from there. And then of course, like I said before, the UAE and specifically Abu Dhabi and Dubai, as well as Saudi Arabia. The other thing to know about these websites before I move on to the last one is that there is a way within these websites to alter your location. So it's kind of like faking your location so that you can sign up or present your profile in different markets, if that makes sense. And guess what? This is also possible on WeChat. I learned this just the other day that I haven't been able to try it. I'll say this. I did try it and it doesn't seem to work for me. But I'll remind you, I am in India, and China and India, India blocked all those Chinese apps back in 2020. So for me, I can't be recognized on WeChat as being in India because it'll like shut the whole thing down. So try it and let me know. Apparently you can fake your location. And if the app picks up that you're faking your location, why do you want to fake your location on WeChat? Because there's that nearby feature so that you can be seen by folks who are nearby you. So if you are in mainland China, or if you're in Hong Kong, because it's a big app in Hong Kong, and as you recall, I just told you that they are they're actually above the UAE. Their high end is higher than the UAE. So there you have it. And if the app realizes that you're tricking it, there are even apps where it's similar to like a VPN. But it's a different kind of app where you can fake your location on WeChat, and I believe other things where you want to do that. I don't know. I'm I'm always learning new fascinating things. Okay, where can I find an ESL teacher for my child in Abu Dhabi? And I found the next one, apprentice.com. Apprentice is a website that is totally free. Oh, by the way, Tutoroo, totally free to post your profile. But then there's that whole situation that I talked about, whether the student signs up or not. Buddy School, they'll just let you pay them a fee to have um, a more featured ad or profile. And apprentice.com is not going to take your money at all. Apparently, I've looked and looked. It doesn't seem that they want your money. What they say, the way that you get seen, I think maybe the parents must pay, or the consumer must pay. Anyhow, so the way that they say that you get ranked in theirs is by a student score, I think is what they called it, and you get that with reviews. Yeah, so apprentice.com is a good one. All right, so I just want to stop and pause and say that after I have told you about these ones that I think are good, buddyschool.com, I'll definitely do it. Apprentice.com. Oh, Apprentice and Tutoroo, I have done it, but I need to refine my profiles actually. My point of saying that is that I want to create an accountability club, and we're going to meet right in the comments of these videos about how we're going to get more students. So I see all these comments, and y'all are worrying me that there's an echo, and it's crazy. No echo! Yay! Okay, so yeah, lost my train of thought. That's what happens on lives. All right, so let's keep going and maybe I'll get back to that. Oh, the accountability club. That's what I was talking about. So I'm serious. Please tell me what it is that you plan to do. Maybe none of these for you today will work. I get it. It's not always going to have something in it that will work for you. Maybe the next broadcast will. But tell me what you're going to do, and let's commit to it and to each other. And we can talk about that in the comments. Like I said, have been moving slow, but I've also, like I mentioned in my last video, have had some personal things because mostly I'm just moving, and it's a big transition mentally as well to move from a foreign country back home. So I've been stalling a bit. So I would love an accountability group. Let's do that if you're interested. Okay, Craigslist. Is that a big duh? I don't know. But when I started searching, how do I find an English teacher for my child I started finding lots of classifieds. I would find a classified in a language that I couldn't understand, right? It would be in Arabic, or there was a South Korean one that I found as well. Can't read it. But I assume that there's a way to, if nothing else, if you really wanted to pursue a market that you can't speak the language, then I'm sure there's a way to get things translated and whatnot to be able to make that work for you. But if you're looking in Canada for Chinese students or whoever, if you're looking everything. So, yeah, I don't need to go into that. But the point being that classifieds, because I want to try to stay on track. Classifieds are everywhere. So again, back to pick your niche, and your market is part of that. It's an extension, it's a broader circle of that. And then pursue classifieds in that area. And Craigslist is like the biggest classified for me, because when I'm in the States, I haven't used it in a long time because I haven't been there, but I just used it all the time for anything and everything. And I remember seeing people with tutoring offerings at the time. All right, so here we go. And more classifieds, definitely by your location. Okay, so I think I'm done. I think this slide says, "Whoo, Angie, you're off the hook for that first live." So I think I'm done. I want to definitely read some comments and see what you guys are talking about. Oh no, I see. Oh no, bummer. Tell me, Claire, what's a bummer? Yeah, I see you're saying that you could not see my screen shares, I assume. I'm gonna have to work on that. I like, oh my goodness. Praise to anybody who is doing these StreamYard lives with more fluidity. Yeah, I'm sure it'll get easier after the first one. All right, so oh, I do see there's a where do we advertise for online in the UAE? So, Claire, both there are others on my list that I found that I'll talk about in the next one because this is already 35 minutes long. But the Tutoroo and um, Tutoroo and Apprentice.com, both of those were found in my search for students in the UAE. And the UAE is one of the locations that they market to on those two websites. So that will work for you. All right, very cool. So I see. Can you link these websites you suggested? Absolutely. Hi. And is it Sarah? Am I saying it right? Like Sarah? Anyway, so uh, thank you, Jen. I am brave sometimes, brave and crazy. Does anyone know that Melissa Etheridge song? It was one of my favorites because I am a bit brave and crazy all at the same time. All right. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. Again, if you want more help with the crafting of your bio or your video, a lot of times I see videos where like those teachers are so qualified and they just need to bring forward some energy and some presence in their video. So I, as a dancer and a performer, performance focus is not what I'm bringing at you right now, but there is an energy of that can be really crafted for being on camera. So if that's something you'd like help with, or anything to do with closing the sale, basically navigating your way through the conversation with parents or these may not be parents, you may be teaching adults. I'm talking about myself here. Anyway, I'm happy to help with all of that. My email is teacheslanywhere@gmail.com. All right, so I'm just going to pull up a few comments so that you can see them at the same time. So very good. So I'm really glad that you found me here too. And yeah, so really trying to connect with parents. And did you find my video and watch that about how to maximize your contacts on WeChat? Because if you have any at all, you can really build a bigger network with some of those tools. As I said, I'm trying to transition into a better time zone for myself and some quality sleep, continuing to have that. So I've been getting a flood of Chinese parents when I'm implementing any of that, and I want students from other places. So I know that you'll get some good traffic if you implement some of that. Yes, Claire, I know you've been waiting for so long, and thank you for your patience. And there's more coming. I can't even believe it took me that I'm at 37 minutes. It took me that long to get through that. I thought I was cutting it short so I could get this done in 30 minutes or less, 20 minutes or less. And maybe without the echoes, I could have. All right. So thank you so much for being here, Claire. All right. And so WeChat is good. We can get on. Okay. So Claire, that's interesting. I didn't know that WeChat was prominent in the UK. Can anyone else share where they, if you know other prominent places where WeChat is used? Also WhatsApp. WhatsApp is really prominent here in India. And there are some websites. There's a website today that I found, and the girl was very happy. She's an Indian woman, and she is making $20 an hour. And for her in India, that is an excellent rate. Um, but for those of us who are charging more than that, India is not really a market that we want to be in. Urban Pro is one of those, but I'm not sure if Urban Pro is prevalent outside of India. It's really big here. So, Claire, are you using the WeChat tactics that I talked about? Are you using any of those ideas um, to get folks in the UK? I would love to know that. Okay, my friends, I think I'm going to go now. I love that so many of you have been here chatting with me. I have no idea why the echo. Thank you so much for alerting me so quickly. And I will see you next time. All right. Take care. Bye bye.